Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's towards the end of the month, and today it is time to get our menu set for the month of October. I need to make room in my freezers, so I am going to be, I'm out of breath. I am going to be putting some things on the menu that I'm just gonna call it like a freezer meal. So I am just going to be like throwing stuff together out of the freezer to make a meal. So I'm gonna put quite a few of those on the list this month. I will be getting some regular groceries as well. It's not really a low spend month or anything like that. It's simply I just need to make room for the pig that we have coming, and then later on the beef that we have coming. So I just don't want to be in a position where I have, you know, sometimes you only have like a week's notice or something, you know, by the time it's ready to go to the butcher. And so I don't want to be caught in that position of trying to scramble within a week. I would like there to be enough room. So I'm not going to be depleting my meat supply in there. I'm just going to be using up like odds and ends that we have, like leftovers in there and that sort of thing, so that I can make room for more meat. Here is what our menu from September is looking like. So got some left, but we do have some days left in September here, so most of these will get used up. And then I do have some rollovers from lunch and desserts that we can use for October. And then here is the list that I have been keeping. I keep this on the side of the refrigerator. So as I run out of stuff in the kitchen, I can just quickly jot it down here. And then that way I don't forget anything. You know, that's why I don't go to make a recipe and realize that I don't have any more crushed red pepper flakes or something like that. This is what my meal planner looks like before I get started. So now I'm just going to copy over any of these meals that we're not going to get to. I'm just going to copy those over to October. And then I'm going to decide how many freezer meals I realistically can get out of my freezers before I start looking up recipes. I have completed the meal plan. I'm pretty pleased with what I came up with. So let me flip you around and I will show you what we're having in the month of October for dinners. All right, all nice and filled out. So tikka masala, cheesy pesto baked chicken, chicken shawarma, and good grub. Those are all leftovers from the month of September. This was Jericho's request, a whole chicken. I probably will do the magnolia recipe. That's a really good one. You start it the night before and put like butter under the skin and stuff, so I'll probably do that one. Beef pot pie, and the little F is just to remind myself that all of this is coming out of the freezer, so I don't go and use other things. I want to clean up the stuff in the freezer first. So beef pot pie, that was Jalea's request. I will make my own pie crust, and then I already have some cooked shredded beef from when I made beef stock. There was actually quite a bit of meat left on the bones, and so I just shredded that and put that in the freezer. Beef stroganoff, that was Jericho's request. Spaghetti and meatballs. I never got around to freeze drying spaghetti and meatballs this month, so we're just gonna eat them. I gave away one bag, and then just to somebody who needed a meal, and then we will have the meatballs in the freezer. Hot dog chili bake, this is a good one. You just wrap hot dogs in I like to use a low carb tortilla, but you can do a tortilla as well. You pour hot dog chili sauce on top with shredded cheese, and that's a quick meal that everybody likes. Cheeseburger soup, that was Jalea's request. Pulled pork in the crock pot, so I already have some cubed up pork that I was going to use for a recipe this month and I didn't get to it, so we're just gonna put that in the crock pot, and I also have some frozen barbecue sauce that we'll use. Turkey meatballs, this is a Jada recipe that's really good, really enjoy that. Alright, then this beef enchiladas with red sauce. I made homemade salsa from all of my tomatoes in the garden this year. And I used the Mrs. Wages, it's like this seasoning packet. It's quite popular. It's a very delicious salsa, but I wish I would have cooked the tomatoes down a little bit more because it's a little bit thin, which we don't mind thin salsa. None of us like super chunky salsa or anything. But the flavor is so good that I thought that that would make a really good enchilada sauce. So I'm going to use that to go with the beef enchiladas. Then we're having venison Mississippi roast, which if you're not familiar with the Mississippi roast, it is so delicious. It's, see if I can remember it. It's a stick of butter, a packet of brown gravy, ranch seasoning powder, and a jar of pepperoncinis. And that jar of pepperoncinis, like it's like acid or something. I don't know. It's so delicious by the time it's done. And I still have a venison roast from last year that I want to make it through in case my dad gets a deer this year. He always shares the venison with us. And I've discovered a trick. Venison can be kind of tough sometimes because it doesn't have any fat in it. Now you're adding a stick of butter, which helps. But I slow cook it for a long time. Then I like chop it up into pieces after a while, and if it's not tender enough, then I will pressure cook it for like 10 or 15 minutes, and it turns out perfect. So that's a little tip if you have like crock pot meat that is not cooking fast enough and you have an Instapot, you can just do that for like 10 or 15 minutes and it like speeds up the tenderization process. Then we're gonna have slow cooker taco dip, which we've had that before. The kids like it. We're thinking, we don't really celebrate Halloween at our house. We don't go trick-or-treating or anything. Sometimes we'll go see a movie. So we're thinking we might just stay home, watch a movie, have fun appetizers, and then I will buy the kids whatever candy they would like. So that, and then I also put down spinach artichoke dip as a side. Jason and I really like spinach artichoke dip. And so we can just do like some dips and some fun food. All right, freezer soup. I'm just gonna throw together the odds and ends in the freezer that I can find and make a soup out of it. Maybe put some rice or some pasta in it. Jericho will hate that, but the rest of us will be fine with it. Cracked chicken, made that many times. Everybody likes it. Some people put it on a bun or wrap it up in a tortilla. Some people just eat it on their plates. That's what I like to do. Lasagna was Jalea's request. So if I can find lasagna noodles at Aldi, sometimes I don't have them, I will make lasagna. Otherwise, I will just do like a layered pasta dish that will taste just like lasagna, but it just won't have the lasagna noodles. Buffalo white chicken chili, that's a new recipe from Half Baked Harvest that I would like to try. Asian turkey tacos. I don't have any ground pork right now, but I have ground turkey, so the flavors will be good. I'll just add a little extra fat if I need to. Pasta salad, we need to pack a dinner for a volleyball game one night, so that's a great dinner to pack. Cauliflower stir fry with chicken. So I had this cauliflower stir fry in the freezer forever, so I'm just going to cook up some chicken to go with it. Adds probably some extra veggies, and that'll be a good freezer meal to clear that out of my freezer. Fried walleye. Our neighbor gave us some walleye that he had, I think he got it in Canada. He went fishing in Canada and got it. Well, this will be a brand new recipe. 3 of us will like it. 2 probably won't even try it, so they can have like leftovers or something. But this uses like Ritz crackers as like the breading, so I think that's gonna be good. Chicken tostadas, everybody likes. Green chili enchilada soup. This is a new one, and I noticed it just uses a lot of, like it uses just a cup of frozen corn, which I already have that in the freezer, and it just uses some other stuff that I already have. Then I have some hamburger buns I want to get used up in the freezer, and so I thought I would make open-faced barbecue chicken sandwiches and just kind of broil them. So I think everybody will like that one. Our lunches are pretty much the same. I always kind of have the same Same options, flatbread pizzas, Instapot mac and cheese, air fryer lunch. But there are a couple things from the freezer. So we've got that chili in the freezer that would make a good lunch, that homemade chicken ramen that would make a good lunch, and then I have that turkey lunch meat. So Julia and I could pull that out and do some turkey sandwiches. Maybe even like a turkey Reuben would be delicious, especially if I can remember to do it like the day after I make a sourdough loaf. That would be really good. Some sides that we're gonna have, I'm gonna be making a lot of like banana bread and zucchini bread to try to get that stuff out of the freezer. Cauliflower cheesy bake, that's a really good one. Jericho actually requested that one, so I'll make sure to link that. Zucchini chocolate muffins, that's a good recipe. What else? I am going to be I'm going to be making pumpkin bars. I will probably offer like to take those to small group or something because it makes a lot. Then I'm going to be trying something called jam bars, which is, I've got a bunch of like little odds and ends of frozen fruit in the freezer, like I think some raspberries. Oh gosh, I've even got like a little bit of cherries, a little bit of blueberries, and then you mix that with jam. I've got lots of jam, and then you spread it like over like a shortbread bottom and then like a crumbly top. So that sounded good, so I thought I'd give that a try, and then that'll use up those little odds and ends of frozen fruit. And then breakfasts are basically the same. I'm going to be making the broccoli ham and egg casserole. That'll use up some more of that frozen cauliflower rice that I have. But yeah, that's about it. I will be sure to link everything so that everything that I can, I always link so that you can try out these recipes if you want to. But that's what we're having for the month of October. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!